Hi there, my name is Mike Palmer, and I'm here to discuss my issue on college athletes and the pay-for-play debate that's been going on for quite some time. My research question in specific is what are the ethical and separately the legal limitations or restrictions on the gifts given to current and prospective college athletes by the school boosters and alumni to encourage athletes to invest their college career at the gift giver's university, and how are those limitations and restrictions determined? And essentially, my research pretty much dove into the debate. I researched the obvious pros and cons, whether if people might think it's going to take compensation will take away from the pureness of college athletics. But of course, then there's the pros, which would allow these athletes to kind of have a little more equality when it comes to the lifestyle that non-athletes get to have, such as being able to go out and experience what everything that the college has to offer. I feel that some college athletes aren't really given that opportunity since a lot of their time is consumed by their schedules given to them by the athletic department and coaches, but also the behavior I feel that they are much more controlled by the university on their whole daily routine and the standards that they have to live by. And that kind of brings into the debate, which I have looked into with a couple of law review articles, is the employer-employee relationship, and that really has to do with should college athletes be able to be considered employees to the university. Because if this were the case, then they would be allowed to get workers' comp. They'd be able to get reimbursed for any injuries that they sustain during practice or games, and of course, they may be subject to reasonable compensation, which is kind of where I have strong feelings for, because I believe that these athletes put so much time into these activities that I feel like 300, 500 a month, or even if it's 100 a game, so they make maybe $2,000 a season. That would allow them to pay for other living costs that they wouldn't be able to make working a part-time job, since they're not given that time of working on a part-time job. And it seems that athletes it seems that the security reasons that athletes aren't able to feel more secure about the services they provide, because as such, if they get injured during practice, then they have to pay the medical fees. But also, the school is allowed to revoke their scholarship for no specific reason. So it seems like it's a one-sided abuse of power in that case. So I feel like the employer-employee relationship should be a valid argument in courts, which would thus allow athletes to be considered employees to the university. And I guess if you guys look at my handout, it shows 5 pay proposals. And the reason I wanted to provide this excerpt from a sports journal I came across, I just wanted to kind of show 5 possibilities with the possible payment styles. It doesn't seem it could be too much. I mean, I'm not trying to say that the star athletes, the top 10 who are on the Heisman watch, should be getting $100,000 a year. I'm just saying they should be getting the necessary amount for them to live off of, or whether it's to pay for supplies and books, because sometimes some of these athletes don't get the full tuition, and then there's a lot of other costs that these scholarships don't provide for them, so they're kind of on their own. And it seems that, and pretty much, I've also researched a little bit on the behavior or the bylaws that boosters must follow. And it seems that boosters are able to pay coaches, pay off their housing, and pretty much just provide all this money to coaches, but they can't even say a word to their athletes. And I feel that if the university isn't willing to share the profits and revenue that they make from each football, basketball season, then the boosters should be allowed to provide some type of compensation or rewards to their players for their hard work year in and year out. I don't believe paying I don't want this issue just to have to deal with football and basketball. I believe that even though these are the highest revenue generating sports, I feel that the university would also, of course, even after distributing some of that revenue to the other sports departments, there still probably is some surplus in there that would allow them to pay either pay the athletes or give them a cut of the bonus that they're going to give the coach for winning a conference title or winning a national championship. And that's kind of one of the proposals in the handout that I provided. Other than that, my research pretty much just consisted of they're just trying to find consistency with the legal requirements. It just seems that the coaches in the university are the only ones who really profit. It seems just that the college athletes really get nothing. And I mean, I'm not saying a full ride scholarship or an education at a prestigious university isn't enough compensation for that alone. But I'm saying that they're putting much more at risk into their lives when they go out and play and when they have to practice every day. And it's just much more time consuming than others believe. I mean, I came across an article saying they're only required to put in 20 hours a week towards their sporting programs, but a lot of college students will definitely be going above and beyond that requirement. So please feel free to put in any judgment or opinions, and I look forward to you guys reading my paper. Thank you.